So apparently, making jokes about my glasses and making references to rock and roll artists from 80 years ago isn't what you kids are into these days. So I've been asking my nephew Jax, hey, what are you guys into? And I think I finally have it figured out. So I was talking to my nephew Jax, and he told me that y'all are really into Tic Tac. I like Tic Tac too. These are my favorite Tic Tacs. They are peppermint, you got your spearmint, you got your orange, you got your fruity flavors.
Mr. White.
What?
Mr. White, it's TikTok.
Tic Tac.
TikTok? Not Tic Tac, TikTok.
TikTok. Oh. All right, everybody, happy Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. I just wanted to clarify a few things in this first beginning part. Your Zoom meetings. The purpose of those is that I am there to answer questions and kind of do a basic intro into what your project is going to be today. The bulk of the information that you're going to need is either going to be listed in the assignment or in these videos. I'm going to be doing a demonstration after the Ah-Ta-Da for how to use Google Slides today. We're going to be doing a lot of artwork, and we're going to be studying the elements of art for probably about the next week, maybe 2 weeks, on how to make art using Google Slides and how to use your Chromebook to do that. So please remember that these are the videos that you need to be watching. These are going to be probably a lot more helpful than the Zoom meetings. The Zoom meetings are kind of hard to control when there's anywhere between 50 to almost 100 of you in there at a time. And as much as I want to answer each individual question, we don't normally have enough time for that. I do have office hours every day though, from 1:30 to 2:30, and there should be a Zoom link posted every day. So that way you can click on that, and if you have one-on-one questions or if you're struggling with how to do something, we can work together. I can do a screen share, you can share your screen with me so that way we can see what everything's looking like and we can get stuff worked out. So with all that being said, we are gonna go ahead and get started with the next part, and I think we all know what time it is. It's time for the AWTD, the Ah-Ta-Da. It's time for the artwork of the day. Yes, today we're gonna be talking about this lady right here, the one with the crazy red hair, the one with the cool sunglasses. Her name is Yayoi Kusama. She was born in 1929 in Japan, and she's 91 years old today. Well, not today specifically, but she's 91 and she is still making art today. She has done so many different things in her life. She's been a painter, a sculptor, a fashion designer, a writer, but the thing that she's probably most known for is her art that looks like this. It is called installation art. What she does is she takes a whole room, sometimes giant warehouses, and she completely transforms them. She paints the ceiling, the floor, the walls. She creates giant sculptures that go in the middle of the rooms to help you interact with it. She uses lots of mirrors. These works that she does, as you can see as well, include a lot of patterns, a lot of bright colors, and a lot of polka dots. She is really into polka dots. When she's making her artwork, she is trying to do what she calls approaching the infinite. And the way that she does that is she takes the same thing and repeats it over and over and over again. Those polka dots that she uses represent a moment from her childhood that she likes to explore over and over again. She was in a field full of flowers when she was a kid, and she was just so overwhelmed by all of these flowers staring back at her. And she is always trying to recreate that feeling of getting lost in the infinite. It's a very interesting art style, probably something completely different than what you've seen before. She is still making art. She still does these giant installations today. She's still making sculptures and painting and writing. She is a very interesting woman, and one that I think is notable enough to put on our wall. So I hope you learned a little bit about Yayoi Kusama today. Have a good day. Let's go back over and learn about what our assignment is today. Like I was saying before, we are going to be working with Google Slides a lot for this. I'm going to do a basic intro. There should be a link in your Monday folder for the Google Slides for today. There are instructions on the slides for how to work with everything, but I think this part of the video that we're about to cut to is going to be the most helpful because I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to work with it, how to save things, the tools that you're going to be using in there, and that's going to be really helpful because I'm going to be walking through step by step, and then if you need extra help, you can go back, you can reference that, or you can ask me more questions during the Zoom meetings. All right, let's go ahead and cut to that.
All right, everybody, welcome to this part of the video. I am going to show you what it is that we're going to be doing in Google Slides today. So we're going to start off in our Schoology page. It should look something like this. We are in week 2 now, so I'm going to open up the week 2 folder, click on Monday, because today is Monday. And this is going to show you what we need to do this week. If you are watching this, you have already clicked on this watch video, which is awesome. The second thing that you're going to do is you are going to go down here to assignment number 4, Google Slides. You're going to click on that, and it's going to open up this big page right here. There's lots of stuff written down here. What this is talking you through what I'm going to be talking about today on how to access everything, and it's going to tell you to come back and watch this video. I have this section right here, which is about submitting Google Drive resources to an assignment. That is going to teach you how to submit your Google Slides when you're all done. But we're going to scroll on past all that right now to this link at the bottom called Elements of Art, Line, and Shape. When you find this link, you're going to click on it. It's going to open up a new tab for you in Google Slides. Right, so when you get it, it should open up and it should say Elements of Art, Line, Shape, Space, Texture, Value, Color, and Form. These are the 7 elements of art for those of you who haven't studied them yet. We're going to be learning about them in this unit. The elements of art are the basic building blocks that are included in all works of art. Every work of art has at least one of these, but lots of works of art have multiple. We're going to be talking about how to create art in Google Slides today, and we are going to be starting off with showing you how to use these different tools. First thing that we're going to be talking about is probably the simplest thing that we can, which is line. A line is a point moving in space. A line can be 2- or 3-dimensional, descriptive, implied, or abstract. What that simply means is that lines can take lots of different forms, but any point that starts at one spot and ends in another, whether it's curvy, whether it's wavy, whether it's in straight, is a line. So what I have here is I have a bunch of different examples of different types of lines. You are going to be making horizontal lines, which are lines that go all the way across from left to right, vertical lines, which go up and down, zigzaggy lines, and wavy lines. So I'm going to delete these real quick so that way I can show you how I made each of these. And what you're going to do is that you are going to have to use the tools in Google Slides to create your art. We are simply practicing making different types of lines right now. So up here at the top, if you follow my mouse, there are some different tools. You have your select tool, text tool, insert image, shape, and line. The line tool looks kind of like a barbell over here. You're going to click on the select line from the little arrow right next to it, and it's going to pull up this window. You're going to have different options. You're going to have line, arrow, elbow connector, curved connector, curve, polyline, and scribble. We are going to simply start off with line. So click that. You should have this little plus sign that pops up. And the way that you make a line is that you click down, and then while you are still holding it down, you are going to move your mouse to start making your line. It'll be centered and anchored on this little point, and you can go in any direction. But we're going to make a horizontal line, which goes from left to right. And when I want to make that line, I simply let go of the mouse, and it will have this highlighted line right here. Now you can make all sorts of changes to this line. You can show you where to do that right now. So up here at the top, you see this little pencil. This can change your line color. Right now it's a black line. I'm going to change this to a red line this time. Now it's really hard to see because it's so thin. So let's make that line a little bit thicker. We're going to go back up to the tools up here. We're going to select line weight. It's this one with the different lines on here. And the weight of the line is how thick or thin a line is. Right now it's only 1 pixel, which is really thin, but it can go all the way up to 24 pixels, which is pretty thick. So let's make it a big line right now. If you look at your line like, ooh, I don't like that, that's okay. You can always go back and select it. You'll have this little plus sign with the arrows on the ends, and you can reselect it. You'll know it's selected when the little barbells and the blue outline reappears, and you can change, okay, maybe I wanted this to be a green line instead, and maybe I only want it to be 8 pixels. But you're gonna make a horizontal line, you're gonna make some vertical lines, which are lines that go straight up and down. One tip when you're doing this though is that you do have to reselect the line tool every single time that you want to make a line. So let's make this one blue, and we will increase the weight up to 16. So I have my horizontal line, I have my vertical line. You're gonna fill these spaces with different horizontal lines and vertical lines, but that's how you use the line tool. I'm gonna show you a different way to make lines on here next with zig and wavy. You're gonna go up here, back up to the line, select line, and we're gonna go all the way down here to scribble. Scribble is the one with the scribbly looking line, and it says scribble. Select that. I have my plus sign again, which means that I've selected the tool. And then I'm gonna start by drawing a zigzaggy line. Now, when you're doing it this time, instead of anchoring to one point, the line is actually gonna follow whatever movements you make with your, oh, it disappeared. Let's try that again. It should create a line that follows the direction of your mouse as you're moving across the screen. You can do the same things that we did before. We can change the color. We'll make this one pink, and we'll make it pretty big. And we've got our zigzaggy line. And then you do the same thing for your wavy line. You select the scribble again. Maybe this is what waves look like. I don't know. We're just kind of practicing right now. I'll change it to blue because waves are blue. That's kind of ugly. We're going to change it to red. Sure. Maybe? Red. There we go. Okay. Once you have this whole section filled up with the lines, we are going to move on to our second element of art that we're going to be talking about today, and that is shape. Shapes are two-dimensional forms, and they are flat. Some examples are obviously circles, squares, and triangles. And shapes can come in two different forms. They can be geometric, which are shapes like circles, squares, and triangles, or they can be organic. Organic shapes are shapes like clouds or hearts. These are things that do not have a clearly defined number of sides or anything like that. And organic shapes are shapes that are found in nature. So I'm going to delete my examples that I did earlier, and that's okay. We're going to be using the shape tools up here. So back up at the top up here, we have these different options. And you're going to select the one that looks like a little circle with a square, and it says shape. You're going to have different shapes. You can have shapes, arrows, callouts, or equations. We're going to simply click on shapes, come over, and let's say I want to make a trapezoid. Sure. You're going to do the same thing that we had before. We got our little plus sign, but this time when you click down, you're going to start pulling it over, and as you pull it over, it will start to create your shape. Now, when you're happy with how big you want your shape, you can change all the different parts of it, but you can let go. It's selected, and if you don't do anything to it, it's going to be this kind of gray shape, but you can do the same thing that we did before, which is that you can change the color of stuff. So we're going to select our trapezoid again, and up here at the top under tools, we have this little paint bucket, and it says fill color. I'm going to change that to green. And let's say we want a thicker outline around this as well. You can do the same thing before, where you can change the border color, which is this little pencil up here, and we'll change it to black. And then we can change the weight of the border. So now it's a trapezoid with a big black outline around it. Play around with these shapes, find some different ones. Maybe you want to make a lightning bolt really big and change the color to yellow. And maybe this one has a red outline. Now let's say that you wanted to make some other different types of shapes. Maybe you're going to fill the whole rest of the space with a big old smiley face. Shapes like smiley face, we can go in and change the border color. Maybe you want to have a black border around this one. Oh, you can see your smiley face a little bit better. Once you're all done with this and you're happy, you've filled it up with shapes, you've changed colors, changed the border thickness on stuff, you are all done for today. We are just practicing working with these shapes and lines. Get creative with it. When you're all done, you're just going to go back to Schoology and follow those directions for how to upload this presentation that we've been working on, these Google Slides, to your Schoology assignment. What's nice about Google Slides like this is that it automatically saves everything that you do to your Google Drive. So do not worry about having to go up and select save or anything like that. It automatically does it for you. So when you're all done with this, go back to Schoology, read how to submit the assignment, and then turn it in. If you have questions, we can talk about that more in the Zoom meetings, but we're going to get back to the last part of the video. Okay, bye.
All right, I hope that made sense. If it didn't, please come to my office hours, come to the Zoom meeting, ask questions. Office hours are better if you have one-on-one questions. Zoom meetings are better if you have big questions, not big questions like, how do I open this? That's more of a one-on-one question. I hope you are able to do this. I hope you feel successful. Have a good day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.